Welcome to Headline. We're the channel dedicated to, well, taking current affairs and complex topics and making them simple, making them understandable for you. I'm Parker.
And I'm Jamie. It's great to be here, Parker. The whole automotive world is just buzzing right now, isn't it? So much change happening.
It really is. And it's moving so fast, sparking some really interesting strategic plays between companies.
Definitely.
So today we're doing a deep dive into something fascinating. How are the big auto players figuring out their EV future?
Yeah. And specifically,
What happens when a global giant, like Tesla, decides to enter a really dynamic market like India, especially when local players like Mahindra are already making pretty big strides there.
right, it sets up a really interesting clash of approaches.
Exactly. So our mission today is to kind of unpack the different tech philosophies, the market strategies of these key players. We want to give you a clear picture of the tech involved and, honestly, the exciting competition that's shaping the roads we'll all be driving on soon.
Sounds good. Where should we start?
Let's kick things off with Mahindra. They've announced this really ambitious vision. They call it Born Electric. Jamie, what's the core idea behind that strategy?
Right, so the heart of Mahindra's Born Electric vision really is their modular NGO platform.
NGO.
Okay. Think of it like a highly versatile sort of foundational skateboard for their EVs.
A skateboard, like the base.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
engineered to handle different wheelbase lengths, different track widths, and it can support various powertrains too, rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, depending on the model.
So super flexible, one basic structure for lots of different cars.
Precisely. It means they can use this common base across a whole range of vehicles, SUVs, crossovers, whatever, just by changing the top hat, the body shell.
That sounds efficient.
It is. And it's actually quite similar conceptually to what Volkswagen did with their MEB platform.
Ah, okay.
And that's a key point, actually. Mahindra has partnered with Volkswagen. They're using VW's MEB electric components motors, battery cells, for their Born Electric vehicles.
Really? That's a big deal.
It is. It lets them leverage proven tech and speed up development. They're even talking about future collaborations, maybe on charging tech, or even battery cell manufacturing down the line.
Okay, that makes sense. Smart move to partner up. But, for us, the people actually driving, what does this NGLO platform mean in practice? Like, what about power? And crucially, range.
Right. The tangible stuff. Well, NGLO is designed for both performance and usability. Let's talk batteries first.
Okay.
They're using a common battery pack design, but it can incorporate different cell types, blade, and prismatic. Think of them as just different ways to package the energy.
Flexibility again.
Exactly, giving them options. The pack sizes will range from about 60 to 80 kilowatt hours, but the really impressive bit, 175 kilowatt fast charging capability.
175 kilowatts, that's pretty quick, right?
It's very quick. It means you could potentially charge from, say, 0 to 80% in under 30 minutes.
Wow. Okay, that definitely tackles the range anxiety issue head on.
It helps a lot. And their battery management system, the BMS, is also designed to optimize range, enhance safety, and make the battery last longer.
So quick charging, decent battery sizes. What about the Go? How fast are these things going to be?
They should be pretty lively.
Yeah.
The platform uses this compact, all-in-one electric drive unit, motor, inverter, transmission, all packaged together.
Efficient design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For rear-wheel drive models, they're talking about power outputs between 170 and 210 kilowatts. That's roughly 230 to 280 horsepower.
Okay, respectable for an SUV.
And if you go for the all-wheel drive versions, that jumps significantly. We're looking at 250 to 290 kilowatts, which is more like 335 to nearly 390 horsepower.
Whoa, okay. That's getting serious. What does that mean for acceleration?
They're quoting 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. That's 0 to 62 miles per hour in about 5 to 6 seconds.
5 to 6 seconds. For a family SUV, that's genuinely quick.
It is. Definitely adds a bit of excitement.
Beyond just the battery size and the power, though, what other tech tricks does NGLO have up its sleeve to, maximize how far you can actually drive on a charge?
Right. It's all about squeezing out every last mile. Efficiency is key. They're using a brake-by-wire system.
Brake-by-wire. How does that help range?
Well, it decouples the pedal from the hydraulics, allowing for much finer control over regenerative braking. They claim it offers best-in-class energy recuperation. So when you slow down, it's really good at putting energy back into the battery.
Ah, okay. So less energy wasted as heat when braking.
Exactly. And they're looking at other things too. Tires with lower rolling resistance, special zero-drag wheel bearings, even an air conditioning system designed to use minimal power.
It sounds like lots of small gains adding up.
That's the idea. Incremental improvements across the board to boost that real-world range.
Makes sense. So the car should be efficient, quick. What about the handling? How's it going to feel to drive? And importantly, how safe is it?
Good questions. For driving dynamics, they're planning semi-active suspension and a dual-pinion steering system. They're aiming for what they call feather-light steering effort, so easy maneuvering.
Good for city driving.
Definitely. And that brake-by-wire system, it also allows them to offer different pedal feel modes and different levels of regen, so the driver can customize it a bit. Plus, you'll get different drive modes, sport, eco, that kind of thing, tweaking the throttle response, suspension, stability control.
So quite a bit of driver control over the experience.
Seems so. And on safety, which is obviously critical.
Absolutely.
They're designing these vehicles to meet tough GNCAP safety norms. There's a strong structural cage around the passenger cabin, and the battery, being so vital, is protected by high-strength boron steel.
Boron steel, that's strong stuff.
Very strong. They've apparently had extensive testing at a huge battery development center, too. And they're including advanced driver assistance systems, ADS. We're talking level 2 plus autonomy, using 5 radars for awareness.
Level 2 plus. So things like adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, but maybe a bit more advanced.
That's the idea. Significant driver support features.
Okay, so a solid physical structure, good safety tech. But modern EVs are basically computers on wheels, right? What's the digital brain behind all this? The software, the screens?
Right. That's crucial now. Mahindra calls their software architecture the MAIA SDV platform.
MAA.
Yeah. The Ingelo vehicles will have this network of intelligence powered by 3 high-performance computers. And a big feature, embedded 5G connectivity.
5G built in.
Yep. Which enables seamless over-the-air updates. OTA. So the car can get software improvements, new features, bug fixes, all wirelessly. No need to visit a dealer for software stuff.
Like your phone updates itself?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The computing power series, dude, they're talking 200,000 DMIPs. That's a lot of processing power, driven by a dual octa-core processor.
So the infotainment system should be pretty slick and responsive then.
It should be. They're aiming for a high-definition experience, 1920 by 720 resolution. And it's interesting, a lot of this design and conceptualization work is being led by their team in the UK, Mahindra Advanced Design Europe, or MADE.
Okay, that's a really thorough look at Mahindra's plan. Very ambitious, very modular. Now, let's broaden the view. When you talk EVs, you inevitably have to talk about Tesla, the global leader. How does Mahindra's approach this partnership and modularity strategy compare to Tesla's whole philosophy?
It's almost the opposite in many ways. Tesla's core philosophy is deep vertical integration.
Vertical integration meaning?
Meaning they want to design and control almost everything themselves, end to end. Think about their custom chips like the FSD processor, the full self-driving chip.
Right, they make their own silicon.
Exactly. They develop their own battery cells, battery management systems, motors, inverters, the software, the operating system, the user interface. It's all bespoke Tesla tech.
So total control over the entire system.
That's the goal. It allows them to tightly optimize everything to work together, especially for their big focus, autonomous driving and overall efficiency. They even build their own supercomputing infrastructure, Dojo, to train their AI models.
It's a massive undertaking, building everything in-house like that.
It is. Their hardware includes things like that FSD chip. Historically, they used powerful NVIDIA GPUs before going fully custom, specialized memory for data logging, integrated drive units, and the software stack is just as integrated. Custom OS, robust battery management, vehicle-to-everything or V2X, communication, and of course their advanced autonomous features using neural nets and sensor fusion. It's a closed, tightly controlled ecosystem.
Okay, a real contrast. Tesla builds the whole walled garden. Mahindra seems to be building more of an open park with carefully chosen collaborators. So how does Mahindra's software strategy, the MAIA platform, stack up against Tesla's do-it-all-yourself approach?
Well, Mahindra's MAIA platform takes a different route, focusing on flexibility and maybe faster future rollouts by partnering with specialists.
So integrating the best from others.
Kind of, yeah. They're not trying to build every single chip or write every line of code from scratch. Instead, they partner strategically. For example, their ADS system, the Level 2 Plus we mentioned, that uses Mobileye's IQ6 system on chip. Mobileye is a leader in vision-based driver assistance.
Okay. Leveraging Mobileye's expertise there.
Right. And for the central computing, infotainment, AI capabilities, 5G, they're integrating Qualcomm Snapdragon digital chassis. Again, partnering with a major player in mobile and automotive tech.
So they get access to cutting-edge tech without having to develop it all internally.
That seems to be the strategy.
Mm.
They've also integrated OTA updates like Tesla and are using what's called a zonal ECU architecture. That basically simplifies the vehicle's wiring harness, making it more efficient and easier to manage updates.
Interesting. So, and I were to summarize the core difference. Tesla is like, we design and build the entire orchestra, instruments and all, and compose the music. Mahindra is more like, we find the world's best musicians and instrument makers, bring them together, and conduct a brilliant symphony. Is that too simplistic?
No, I think that's actually a really good analogy. It captures the essence. Tesla's core focus is achieving that full system control, especially for autonomy, driven by their own custom hardware and software, complete vertical integration.
Right.
Mahindra's focus, with NGLO and MEIA, seems to be more on scalable integration, using modular building blocks, both hardware like the battery cells and drivetrain, and software through partnerships. It allows for agility, adaptability, maybe reaching different market segments more easily, with various offerings built on that common core.
So two very different paths to building the next generation of EVs.
Exactly. And both are valid, innovative strategies. They're just tailored to different business philosophies and market goals.
Okay, that sets the stage perfectly. Now, let's bring this right back to India. There's been a lot of noise recently about Tesla finally entering the Indian market. Jamie, based on what industry experts are saying, what kind of splash is this likely to make? How will it affect the local players like Tata Motors and, well, Mahindra?
It's a big question, and the consensus among analysts seems pretty clear, at least for the short term. Experts like Ravi Bhatia from Jado Dynamics, Son Kapoor at EY Parthenon, Nikhil Dhaka from Primus Partners, they largely agree that Tesla's entry isn't likely to pose an immediate major threat to the current domestic EV leaders.
Really? That might surprise some people, given the Tesla brand hype. Why not an immediate threat?
It really boils down to price and market segment.
Okay.
Tesla launched with a Model Y, and it starts at around, 59.89 lakh rupees ex-showroom? But crucially, it's imported as a completely built unit, a CBU.
Which means heavy import duties.
Exactly, a hefty 70% basic customs duty. So the on-road price pushes it well above 65 lakh rupees. That puts it squarely in the premium luxury segment.
So it's not competing directly with the main offerings from Tata or Mahindra?
Not really, no. It's up against EVs from Mercedes-Benz, BMW, BYD's higher-end models, Hyundai's Ioniq 5, the Kia EV6. That sort of price bracket, roughly 45 to 60 lakh and up.
Can you give us some context? What's the current EV market share look like in India, and what are the price points for Tata and Mahindra's flagships?
Sure. So the Indian electric passenger vehicle market is still pretty nascent. It's about 3.5% of total car sales in April 25, maybe 4.4% in June. For the fiscal year 25 overall, it was just 2.6%.
Still small, but growing.
Definitely growing. And within that space, Tata Motors has been the dominant player. They had something like 53.5% market share in FY25, though it dipped a bit to 35.8% in the first quarter of FY26. Mahindra's share has been rising fast, though, from 7.6% in FY25 up to nearly 23% in Q1 FY26.
Okay, so Tata leads, Mahindra's gaining fast, and their prices.
Right. Look at Tata's Harrier EV that's priced between roughly 21.5 and 30 lakh rupees. Mahindra's upcoming XUV9, based on NGL, is expected around 22 to 31 lakh rupees.
Okay, so a huge gap between those prices and the Tesla Model Y's 60 lakh plus starting point.
Exactly. They're operating in different universes right now, price-wise.
Makes sense for the short term, but looking further out, what are the longer-term implications? Surely Tesla being in India will change things eventually.
Oh, absolutely. Even if they aren't a direct volume competitor right now, Tesla's presence will almost certainly have a transformative effect on the Indian EV landscape over time.
How so?
Well, firstly, they set benchmarks. Their presence will push Indian players to raise their game in terms of product innovation, the digital experience inside the car, charging solutions, even just brand aspiration.
So they raise the bar for everyone.
Precisely. Secondly, Tesla acts as a catalyst for the whole ecosystem. Their entry generates buzz, increases consumer awareness about EVs in general, and could put more pressure on accelerating the rollout of public charging infrastructure.
More visibility, maybe faster infrastructure growth.
Could be. And then there's the big if, the possibility of Tesla setting up local manufacturing in India down the road.
Ah, the local factory discussion.
Right. If that happens, and they can produce cars locally, avoiding those high import duties, then prices could come down significantly. That's when they could start competing more directly in those mid to high-end segments, really shaking things up for the premium offerings from Indian brands and other global players.
That's the potential game changer long term.
Definitely the one to watch.
This has been incredibly insightful, Jamie. Okay, so let's try and recap the key takeaways for everyone listening. It seems the EV future isn't a one-size-fits-all approach. We have Mahindra embracing modularity, strategic partnerships, building adaptable, tech-rich vehicles, likely focused on comfort and broad appeal.
Yeah, leveraging partnerships for speed and proven tech with their NGLO platform.
And then you have Tesla pushing the limits with that deep vertical integration, controlling everything, focusing heavily on in-house tech, software, and the drive towards full autonomy.
Right, a very different, highly integrated philosophy aimed at optimizing performance and the autonomous experience.
So the big takeaway.
I think it's that both strategies are perfectly valid and driving innovation forward. In a market like India, the local players like Mahindra and Tata clearly have a strong grip on the mass market right now, offering value-focused EVs tailored to local needs. Tesla's initial entry targets the premium end.
But their presence benefits everyone.
In the long run, yes. It raises standards, boosts awareness, and hopefully accelerates the overall EV transition in India. More competition, more innovation, ultimately, that's good for consumers.
Absolutely. Which leaves us, and you, our listener, with a final thought to chew on. As these very different strategies play out, as the tech keeps evolving at this incredible pace, what kind of EV future do you see emerging? Will one approach, like Tesla's integration or Mahindra's modularity, eventually win out, or is it more likely that this diversity leads to a richer, more varied electric landscape for all of us? Something to think about.
Definitely food for thought.
We really hope this deep dive helped make sense of the exciting and sometimes complex EV race happening right now. Please make sure you subscribe to Headline for more deep dives where we make complex topics simple.
And leave us a review. Let us know what other topics you'd like us to tackle.
Thanks so much for listening.